Hi everyone, welcome back to Shop Talk. What episode is this, 21? 22? Should we look? Hold on. It's been that long. Fat Fender Garage. Okay, this is how you find us. You type in Fat Fender Garage, and then we're the first one. No excuses. Okay, it's been that long, y'all. Okay, everyone has been saying like, oh yeah, you guys need to bring it back, blah, blah, blah. Some of you all seem to be confused, like that is my only job. I wish that was my only job, but it's not. We try to keep up with it, but we're doing our best. Okay, yeah, the last one was episode 20 with Jason. So we are back with episode 21. So technically this is season 3 of Shop Talk. It is April 20th. It is 4/20/2022. So yeah, let's get into it. I have given everyone a little bit of a heads up because, you know, we're trying to make this enjoyable for everybody. I did get a little bit tripped up about some comments because I understand what y'all are saying that we don't get into it too much, but these guys are working, so when we do videos, I try not to waste too much of their time, so we kind of haven't gotten too much into it because they are working. But, you know, you guys are right. You deserve a little bit more insight. Let's go and figure out a little bit about what's going on in the shop right now as of April 2022. It's okay if you don't have anything to say, but do you have anything to say?
So nervous.
You're too nervous. Okay.
Well, it is kind of cool because we're doing it as not a lowered truck like every other truck that we do. Mm-hmm. It's going to be more of a standard height, actually a little taller than a standard height. The other cool thing about it is we've set it up to tow a trailer. It's not a large trailer, but the guy has a salt flat car that he's going to tow behind it. So just something totally different with helper bags along with coilovers. So it's kind of a neat, unique, something different than what we normally do, build.
So we added a trailer hitch, right? And then...
Yep, trailer hitch, helper bags to go along with the coilovers. So that way you can let the air out, still have the good ride, and then air up your coilovers so that way you can haul your load with it. And it'll all be Bluetooth operated.
Right.
So you don't have to pull up anywhere and put air in it. You just do it right from your phone.
So maybe this is a dumb question, but that engine is strong enough to, on its own, to do a trailer, or did we have to do something to make it?
No, we didn't do anything with it because it is a lightweight trailer because of what the vehicle is. So no, it'll be enough to tow it. The guy's an older gentleman from New Mexico, so it'll be kind of cool. Ron Cooper. You can look him up on YouTube and see his car. It's gonna have a lot of neat stuff, extra oil cooler up front, stuff like that, just to make it a little more heavy duty to tow.
Mm-hmm. So we just finished this one's buffing and cutting. Luis was just working on that. So we painted it from my understanding, it's one of the stock silvers. There's a bunch of Ford stock silvers I have heard, but...
That's what I understand, yes, it is more of a stock color. But the guys are into it because it is just totally different than something that lays on the ground. So yeah. Then the next time we do something like this that's that high, we can do it on one of our new 4-wheel drive chassis when we get those out.
Hey, don't say 4-wheel drive chassis. Everyone's going to get excited. Oh my God, look. Juan got a whole suit. Wow, I have never seen you in a full suit.
That's all they have, man. They call that a onesie.
I've literally never seen you in this. In my past 3 years of being here, I've only seen you in lab coats.
You guys want to see the paint?
Yeah, that's exactly what we came over here for. So tell us what we're even talking about. We don't know what we're talking about. So we're talking about...
I got a few coats, so...
Okay, well, Juan's busy, but
sorry, guys.
We'll have Jason explain.
No paint. Get in there.
Oh.
You don't have time to talk on camera?
Okay, so they're doing the...
So he's busy. He's actually putting a sealer coat down right now. And so he wants to get that done so we can actually spray the color. We're not going to have enough time to spray all the color tonight, but we want to get the color on the sealer. The sealer has a small window. The base coat has a much larger window for us to work with. And so he's trying to get the sealer down, and then we're going to go look at the color.
Can we see it?
Here, yep, you can see it.
I think this is the first time we've showed it.
You know those videos where you watch forever? And you know, they talk about it, and like, when's it going to open, you know?
We should just not even open it.
And then you're like on Facebook for like an hour waiting for them to finally open it up. And then when they finally open it up, then they stop and talk for just a second about the color. And just like, I hate you. All right, so. Let me get the light. Hold on, we gotta get the light. All right, well, let me get the light. Wait, but can you guess what? No, I'm joking.
That is actually so beautiful.
It's crazy looking.
Pretty cool, huh?
Wow, Howard Kendrick. Blue is his favorite color. I think that we've asked him before, and he said that was his idea, right? The blue.
He actually brought in the truck. Remember, it was really nice.
Yeah.
Maybe you can find an old photo of it. And he brought this truck in. It was kind of a turquoise.
It was like a tealish.
Teal, yeah. We debated whether or not we'd even paint the truck or do anything with it. We just
Right.
throw it over on the new chassis he had and new motor and everything and airbag. It'd be kind of cool. But he's like, well, can you fix this? There's like some rust, and if there's a little rust, usually there's a lot of rust. And unfortunately, this had more than we even thought. He bought it, looked so good, and it felt like almost sad to just like tear it all down and start over.
That's how I felt. I was like, what?
Good thing we did, because
Yeah.
you could like put your fist through some of the holes
Oh, really?
that the Bondo.
It didn't look like it, but
Yeah, it was bad. It
wow,
was
that's
bad.
crazy.
New fenders, new body sides, like it was kind of tough. So,
Oh.
anyways, so we were leaning towards blue, and then I was sitting at like a baseball game with my kids, and he sent me like a screenshot. He goes, "What do you think of this?" And that doesn't happen often, that a customer sends a photo of a color of blue that is like right out of the gate.
Right.
He nailed it right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, let me see if we can figure out the formula and figure this out. And so we worked kind of hard, came up with this blue color. It's going to be kind of a dark navy blue, but darker than this looks. We're putting the first couple coats down of base coat today. We'll inspect it all, make sure everything is good. And then in the morning, we'll probably finish up the color, and then we're going to start laying the clear down. So it'll be a lot of clear. So this is all BASF paint, clear, primer, everything sealer. It's all BASF. It's like
It's a tongue twister.
a little bit of a tongue twister, right? Anyway, so
BASF.
they should actually change that for me, because I can't say it. But anyway, so we're good to go. He's in.
You guys have seen.
Peek through the window and see.
You guys have seen that rendering. It's a little bit lighter than the. Oh, chaos. Oh, he's already out. Okay, so sealer's down. Sorry, we don't mean to interrupt you. Keep going, yeah. So the rendering looks a little bit lighter than what it's actually going to look like. We ended up going with, as he said, a little bit of a different color. We made that for him. So it's gonna be a little bit darker, but maybe we can come back around when he's got a coat or few down, maybe, and then we can come back and look at it. Okay. Hi. Hello. Okay, so speaking of Howard Kendrick, this is the cab. Okay, you guys are. What are you doing? I'll let you explain.
Just doing the final prep. Louis doing the drip rail, getting the roof all ready, but the whole rest of the truck is in final prep, everything like that. We're getting the firewall, and underneath side of the hood is going to get final prime, just so we can get it all caught up.
That's the last of it, right?
That's the last. Everything
no
else.
more body work. You guys are finished.
No more body work.
Nice.
We're done. All the doors, fenders, everything else is ready to paint. So yeah, we're just getting everything else caught up.
Beautiful. Maybe you don't know this, but are we painting the dash too? The blue?
No, the dash is going to get wrapped. So what I'm told, this is a carbon fiber insert that we had to do some mock-up and get some holes drilled for it. But yeah, it's getting wrapped. So.
Okay. The interior for this build is still a secret, so we kind of got to keep that confidential. So we can't tell you, but it is going to be really cool, and it's not going to be what you expect.
When I first saw him,
It's gonna be
But
cool.
we'll see.
I've seen the renderings of it. It's going to be sweet.
So we just looked at the 49, and you just buffed that, right?
That was Chris's project, and he's gone, and I miss him, and I hope he comes back.
Speaking of Chris, we effing miss you. I don't even know what else to say. We just miss you. But we're happy for him. We love him, and he's all great. But yeah, we've got a little clippy in there for you, so we'll throw that in right now.
We got Chris here, and he is one of our top body men here in the body shop, and
I'm leaving.
he's leaving.
Yeah.
So we are gonna wish Chris an awesome new adventure. Headed back to Nebraska.
Nebraska,
You've
that's
been
right.
here in Arizona since 1995.
I have got a daughter back home, so gonna go spend some time with her
Good.
and finish out my career out there. But it's been a pleasure, Jason. working for you for this year.
Well, I've really feel like I was rewarded by hanging out with you.
Aw.
You know, this guy shows up at like 4 o'clock every morning. I gave him a key because he's like, hey, can I get a key so that I can get in a little bit earlier? I was like, sure. I guess, yeah, we could figure that out. And a week goes by, he asks again. I finally get him a key, right? 4 o'clock in the morning, he shows up. I've tried to beat him a couple of times. I'm like, I will beat him this morning. I will show up to work at 3:45 in the morning. I kid you not, this is last week, right?
It was?
3:45 in the morning. I will show up. I will beat Chris. I'm down at the stoplight. The cameras go off. It says it's sense motion. I am like, wait a second. Could this be?
No way.
No
Chris is
way.
there.
There's no way. Sure enough, I see his car parking.
No.
I'm like a mile away, right? At this point, I'm stuck at the red light. I'm like, I'm going. So I literally haul Fanny down here.
Yep. I heard
He's
you.
walking.
I heard you.
He hears me. And I kind of scared him. He thought I was
A
going to
little
run him
bit,
over.
yeah.
And I come in here and I run to the door and I touch him. I said, I beat you. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
I'll
So,
give it to you. Yeah.
But the guy works hard. So wherever you're going, they are going to be really lucky to get you.
Oh, thank you, Jason.
The guy works hard. He does amazing work. And it's actually going to suck to lose him. Not just as a great employee, but actually a friend. And that's been something that's been fun to develop a
I think so
friendship
too.
with you.
Yeah, it has.
And-
You know, Fat Fender is an amazing place. Jason's an amazing boss. There's amazing people
I
here.
appreciate that.
I mean, it's really hard for me to leave.
Yeah, well-
I appreciate everything.
All right. At the end of all of this, we built some pretty cool trucks here, right?
For sure.
But it's about friends, family, that stuff matters the
It
most
is.
in the end.
Yeah,
so,
it's about the people.
yeah, it
Yep.
really is.
Okay, so how long do you have left on this one? You're almost done?
Yeah, we're pretty much ready to go. We're waiting on Juan.
Hi, Thomas. I don't mean to overwhelm, but you're being recorded. Okay. Can you explain to us what you're doing? I see you've got some, this is header stuff on a jig, right?
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit to our viewers?
So basically this is just a jig that holds everything in place while we're welding, so any heat that's applied to the material is not going to warp everything. This should keep everything in place so when we take it off, we flatten out this bottom so when we put it up to the engine, it actually butts up and seals against the engine nicely. So that should hold everything in place while we're doing all the welding and everything.
Beautiful. And are you doing these, are you working on headers that are going to be for retail or for a shop build?
So right now I think for retail.
Okay, so this one is the Dodger truck. I feel like I always am saying something like that. It's looked a little bit different from the last time you might have seen it. Ray's been working a lot on this, so then let's go ask him. Hi, Ray.
Hello.
Welcome to being on camera.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, of
How
course.
you doing?
So we were just talking a little bit about how this is our Dodger truck, and it used to be a metal bed. Some of our viewers will already know because it was the Dodger truck. It had a huge Dodger emblem in the middle. It was a metal bed. And then the build came back, and we cut it all out, and now you've been working on a new bed floor, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We are.
How's it been going? Was it
It's going good.
good? Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We got
It
the
looks
deck.
good.
We got the deck in. We have the hatch working.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is going good. So right now I'm just working on extending out these tubs to fit. As you can see, this one's already been extended. That one I'm still kind of working on.
So that's kind of what it looked like before, and then you added
Yep.
about a couple inches
We
of
added
metal
about
there.
almost 2 inches in there. That'll finish it off, and then we'll have some plates that come in here, some panels,
Oh, nice.
and that'll tie all this in, and it'll enclose all that.
Beautiful.
And then all this
And
is just,
I was gonna say, you made some towels over here.
yeah, we just had to clean up the front edge of the bed because it just didn't look right. So we decided to go with something like this to kind of give it a little bit of a different look. And the hatch still opens without any problems. So everything's going good.
Sweet, well, it looks beautiful. Okay, it's a little loud, so I'm gonna speak up. Sorry if you haven't heard anything or if you misheard something so far, sorry. So we've got Cody Smith, he's back.
How you doing? How you doing?
You just got here, what, Monday?
Yes, Monday started in here yesterday.
Okay, so you started yesterday. When I saw you get started, you started on the core support, and you've already gotten really far. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think you go super fast. I don't know.
Well, I started yesterday by shaving the core support, so underneath all this, all the dimples, everything on the factory core support is gone now. It just allowed everything to sit a little better. Also remounted the radiator back into its proper location. It was kind of off a little bit. It wasn't flowing well. Now what I'm doing is just finishing out this nose shroud here. With these pieces, basically turn the flange, and it's gonna sit in just like that. So all that'll be welded in together, gonna tie in. I have the second one to kind of show what we start as is just a flat piece. And so everything will come in, break the flange, and end up looking like that. And then once this nose piece is all done here, we basically gotta work our way further back. Next we'll be finishing out the radiator here. This is gonna be back here now. So I gotta adjust all these angles and kind of make it fit properly. That's why I knew there was gonna be some issues there, so I didn't go and do it too awful far last trip. Then we're gonna make our way back, get it mounted, finish up the firewall, new toe boards, shave the upper part of the cowl, and we're gonna hide the remote reservoirs for the master cylinder. It's gonna be inside there. So there'll be a flip up lid on the driver's side of the cowl to house that so you can put your brake fluid and everything inside there.
Beautiful.
All that's gonna be hidden now, so we're getting there. We're working right along on it.
Yeah, you're going quick. Okay, so we'll do another video next week, and then we'll see how far you've gotten. But it's probably gonna be real good.
Yeah,
We're
by the end of
excited.
next week, this thing should be wrapped up, and we'll be moving on with this one. So,
Sweet. Well, thank you. This is
No
Tin
problem, thank
Knockers
you.
Fabrication. Is that
that's right.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Tin Knockers Fabrication.
Tin Knockers Fabrication? Sorry to run up on you.
What's going on?
Well, I came to ask you that. What's going on with you? Our chassis hardline honcho, chassis connoisseur. You got blood on your nose.
It's from my finger. That
Okay,
happens.
well, it got on your face.
This chassis right here,
Okay.
I actually just had Dan. He finished up welding some brackets on.
Okay. So what year is this?
This is 53 to 56 level 3 air ride.
Oh, okay.
So it'll
Okay.
lay rockers, or well, running boards on this year. Yeah, put it right on the ground, ride real good. Best of both worlds.
Cool. So the brackets that Daniel was just welding on there, what were those brackets for?
Yeah, this is the first one to be like finalized, so we had to check the fitment on a couple things. So we did the 2 compressor brackets on either side of the frame, and then also 2 little ones by the 4-link, and that's the mount for the bridge for our air tank and air manifold. So this one's going to Tennessee.
Oh.
So that's why I've been
Cool.
in such a rush to get this
Speaking
one
of
out.
Tennessee, you will see us and a couple of other of us out there at Tennessee at the Grand National F100 show in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. So we'll see you at the LeCompte Center on May 12th, 13th, and 14th, I believe. I might be wrong, but I think that's right.
May something or other.
It's in May. That's what we've been saying for
Yeah.
the past couple year.
Now we're getting there. Now I'm in a rush.
We don't have a SEMA crunch. We have a Tennessee crunch.
Yeah.
Right?
Crunch is a crunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one will go to powder tomorrow. I've got to cut 2 holes in it for access for some bulkheads, and then I'll blow it apart real quick and
Cool.
get everything sent out to powder coat and get it back next week and
Do you
jam it
happen
together.
to know? Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Do you
Okay.
happen to know what color it's going to be powder coated?
It's gonna be this color.
Oh.
Or-
So we do this one a lot, right? This gunmetal kind of gray.
Yeah, I don't remember what the powder color is, but we've just started calling it FFG gray because that's kind of going to be our standard chassis color. You can pick a ton of options, but this is kind of our go-to.
True.
Little
This is
more,
Prismatic Powders. Shout out to Prismatic Powders.
yes. Dresses it up a little more than just black, but it's not super loud, so it kind of goes with anything.
And that's part of something that you can do. If you get a chassis with us, we'll get it powder coated for you. You can pick whatever color you want. Obviously, it's
you
your
can,
build.
if you want to go insane, we can do some pretty
I'm
cool
not
stuff.
insane. I don't know. I don't mean to be a girl and just talk about colors, right? But that is an option that you have. If you do a chassis with us, we can get it in whatever color you want. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So what year is this one?
This one is a 67-72 F100, and then an identical one for a 66 over on that other rack. I'm sure you guys will head over there at some point.
And this is the same customer. His name's Sean, but it's like for him and his brother or
Yeah,
something?
it's 2 brothers. As far as I know, it's for 2 brothers.
Aw, matching chassis.
Gen 3 Coyotes. They're not on there yet.
And both of them are going to be rolling chassis with full engine, trans,
Yeah.
everything?
Yep, Gen 3 Coyote, T56 6-speed manual, and we're going to put a blower on here. It's going to get a stage 1 Whipple.
Oh, nice. Are
Chromoly
you going to
drive
run
shaft.
lines on both?
Yeah, I've already plumbed this one.
Oh, nice.
I'm waiting on the fuel tank still. We'll get that in there, and these will be pretty ready to go.
Literally brother goals. I wish I had a sister so I could have a matching chassis with her. Shout out to Goonie Wheels. It's Goonie. No, I learned that. I thought it was Gunny too, but it's Goonie as in universal because it's a universal wheel. Like, you know, like that, I think. Like, I think the idea is that it's like a wheel that you can use, like, universally for, like, multiple things kind of thing. Sorry we've been saying your name wrong for the past, like, year. Okay, we'll get it right now. So we just have to ask about this build. The last time people saw it, it looked a lot different. So give us a little bit of an update on what you've been working on. I know there's a ton of stuff that's been going on.
Right now we are actually getting ready to put the computer in the back of the fender. So it's actually going to be kind of cool. So it's going to be looking really clean. The fender's going to come up here. It's going to go underneath the fender and just clip in. Super clean, super awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're gonna mount the computer to the fender?
Underneath the fender.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be super rad.
That's cool.
You won't be able to see any of this.
Do we do that all the time, or is that
This is gonna be something special for this customer. For sure.
custom?
Yeah. Also, we're running the AC lines underneath also. They'll all be hidden.
True, so we got the bulkheads under here. There's not a lot of stuff going on this firewall. It's very clean.
You're very clean. Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
That's awesome. Okay, and you have to tell me a little bit about, so if you
So because of the
put
frame,
the camera on here, so you can kind of see. So explain that for our viewers, please.
so what's going on because of our frame, the frame that we have, it's very tight. So we had to make that special exhaust manifold for that steering to fit perfectly inside there. Right now we have the steering shaft, the column out of it. So you won't be able to see exactly how it works, but it is tight in there. But it's also, it functions and it works perfect. No binding. It came out awesome. Took a little bit of finagling, but we got it.
Yeah. So
For sure.
even though it looks all this crazy, it's okay that it's all that tight like that?
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Yep, it'll work great.
Awesome.
It's all tested and everything, so off to paint.
Okay, we added this valance, so you can kind of see in here. So from my understanding, we added the valance, and that's where we're gonna put the AC vents, right?
Yep, the AC vents, the mini vents are gonna go in there. What else? The AC controls are gonna go in there, just to keep the dash clean, you know, so we don't have any holes or anything like that, so.
I think this is ours, right?
Yes, that is ours.
Yeah. So we have, if you want a valance like this, I will make sure that this is on the website all ready to purchase. We have a few on the shelf, I know for sure. So if you want to purchase one of these, hit us up for 53 to 56s, and you can keep your dash clean too. Whenever they're painting, they put up this sheet so that, because it has the, I can't use words right now, but it has like the vacuum that's like pulling the paint while they're painting. So they've had experiences where they've had dust come through and affect the paint. So they add this little sheet on there, which is nice for the quality, but then we can't see what's going on. So I know, I just want to rip it. That's why sometimes when I walk by, I see little holes, and it's because somebody, probably Jason, walked by and was just like, Pierce just kind of brought this up a little bit. This is a chassis, obviously. Yeah. So is this the one that's a 73 to 79, or is this a 67 to 70?
I think this is the 67.
Okay, cool. Can you tell us a little bit about the exhaust? Did you just get started on working on that?
I just got started. I don't even have much done.
Nice.
I'm just starting building the custom headers for it right now.
Nice. Is that what you typically start with? You
Yeah.
start with the headers and then you work your way back?
Yep, that's pretty much the way you got to do it.
Well, you did just finish up the exhaust on Howard Kendrick's, right?
Yes, I did.
Is it okay if we go over there and you can tell us about it?
If you want, sure.
Okay. So there's a lot going on with Howard Kendrick's at once. It's getting painted, they're bodyworking it, and we're finished with the frame pretty much. So we're cooking with gas on this one. So this is different than what we typically do, right?
Yes, this is definitely different than what we typically do. It's
Yeah. So explain
got a
at
few
least that.
bits of fanciness.
Mhm.
Obviously, it's a supercharged LSA, so it's got a lot of exhaust force coming out of it. That's why it starts with the 3-inch, goes into resonators, flex into the X pipe, which is going to increase the exhaust scavenging, pretty much create a vacuum, pulling more exhaust out, and therefore more air and fuel in. Comes into the mufflers, comes up to choke. It chokes down to 2.5 after the mufflers, in order to give it a more aggressive tone in a way. Crossover pipe back here, which you almost never see on exhaust, is there just to, because of the increased pressure of bringing it down to 2.5, it's going to equalize the pressure, give it a more mellow tone while it's just idling or normally driving, but you're still going to get a really aggressive note when he hits it down.
So does doing a design like this affect the performance at all?
Yes, it does. The stuff in the back, not as much, but yeah, the X pipe And the open flow design of it definitely does have a big impact on the performance. Dual exhaust to the back comes out outside of the frame, which again, in a lot of cases you never see, but it's just the way the chassis is designed.
So you like this one?
I do like this one. It was a lot of fun to build.
That's good. It's pretty.
Well, thank you.
And you build all of our headers pretty much.
Yep,
so
all the headers, design all the headers, build all the exhausts.
And I know you guys have been waiting, and we have them available now. So we have 73 to 79 headers, 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive, thanks to Jason here. Actually, yeah,
it's 65 to
they
79.
actually do, yeah. So they were originally for the 73 to 79, and then we found out that they actually fit up to 65, you said? It's 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. We've got those. For the 4-wheel drive one, we recommend a lift on there so that it doesn't hit the drive shaft. Am I correct? Okay, perfect.
Does need a body lift, or you are going to have problems with the front drive shaft.
You heard it here first. So we've got those on the website. If you want to check those out, we'll link them down below, okay? Because I saw you pulling on this yesterday, and now it's all finished. So what did you have to do here? You just had to replace it?
Yeah, just some rust repair on the outer skin and some on the inner. Rust repair down on the cap corner, the inner and outer rocker. And we got a little issue with the door lining up with the cab again. But it's an aftermarket door, aftermarket parts. They never fit.
Right.
They never fit. So.
Right.
So we're trying to deal with that right now.
So you're doing that before you even get the rubbers in there. You're just trying to make it fit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because it's so far away now. I mean, it's a good 1/8 off down there between the cab corner and the door. We repaired the floorboards and the toe kick in this truck on both sides also.
Beautiful.
So those are all done. Those look pretty good. All this stuff is done except for the skin. And then after that, we'll start doing latches.
Nice. Do we already have a transmission cover, or we have to build that?
We got to build that. We also got to cut it up higher.
Okay.
Give us a little bit more clearance, and also open up the section for the steering column. We moved the column up slightly so we can get clearance for the exhaust and clearance for the steering joints. So that's where we're at for right now.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'll go ask Danny, because Danny, I said he was a little frustrated earlier about his door on the other side of this.
Yep.
But it was because he had the rubbers in, and then it's tight with the rubbers.
And the new latch and that kind of stuff.
So it's just never over. There's just something new to add, right?
Always.
Why do you look so upset?
I don't know.
Is it because of the door rubbers?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Oh.
I'm good.
Oh, he's good. Okay.
And you guys?
I'm good too. I'm just great. What are you doing here?
Just making some shims, basically, for the door striker. I got the rubbers in. I got the striker in. But we're just a little... They don't make enough length on the striker, you know what I mean? So, therefore, we're having to kind of bump the whole thing out a little bit so we could get enough clearance. That's about it.
Okay. This is, his name's Tony Parasini, but he's a cool guy, but this is what it's kind of going to look like. The customer, Tony, he already had this idea with the stripe coming on. It's not centered. It's like off-centered a little bit. But he kind of had this idea from the beginning. It's like a mocha brown, so it looks kind of silver, but it's actually a little more brown than the rendering will show. Okay, we finally found you. We wanted to ask you a little bit about this Zeke Brown build.
All right, let's go look at it over here.
Let's look at it.
It's just basically a brand new chassis, 4-link rear end, Coyote 5.0, a whole new build underneath, and then we're just putting the original painted bed and cab on it. We painted the firewall and the core support, you know, stuff like that. So the engine bay is going to look nice and painted, but it's got the original paint inside and out.
Beautiful. So yeah, I think we did some undercoating down there so that it's all ready to go. But we're leaving it stock, which is kind of cool. We don't do that every time, obviously. Everybody usually likes to get everything repainted, but it's not patina, but it's kind of cool that maybe someday it will be, right?
Right, yeah. I think this was painted like 10, 20 years ago, it looks like to me. But the interior we're doing, all new interior, obviously with the original paint. We put these Mustang, like 2018 Mustang brackets in it.
Yeah, so we have have these on the site too, so we'll put that in the bio as well. These are Mustang seat brackets, so if you want to put Mustang seats in your truck, these brackets will help you do that.
And then the fab guys over there made a custom tunnel to fit the bigger transmission that's in there. So we welded that on. Yesterday I just got done putting the membrane in it. We put nice thick membrane on the interior firewall and on the headliner. And then we'll do a little bit thinner stuff on the ground and on the back side over here. That helps with the heat, the sound, makes it sound like a more solid truck. And then with your new AC system, it'll just keep it nice and cold in the cab.
Kind of just that cherry on top.
Yeah, for reals.
We love RESTOMOD. We have membrane on our website as well, so if you want to do that, we'll link that below as well.
We're at the part of the build now because I've mocked everything up that this is the nice part. It's just going to go together real quick. Everything's all measured out. Every time you see this one, it's going to look a lot more done.
We're getting a little bit closer with this build, so explain kind of a little bit about what you've done.
So we got the motor set in, which all that's been mocked up. So now we're dealing with the painted body. So this is the last, no more mock-up basically. So I started with wiring, getting a lot of the stuff wired in already, and then in the back we have helper bags because he wants to tow with this. So I got the bags all set up, got the wiring ran, and got the air lines done on them. So that's the new like anti-gravity battery that weighs like 5 pounds.
Right, everybody's always like...
It's super expensive battery. It's supposed to, has all these like fancy features. I think it's, from what I heard, if it feels that it has like a draw, it'll kill itself. And then there's like a button that you get a key fob, and there's a button on the battery that's supposed to like reset itself back on. So
oh, that's cool.
now people can wire up things wrong and it'll still last. Leave your lights on, all that stuff, and then you don't have to worry about a dead battery. The whole AC compressor all set up, kind of hidden away under the cab. Like I said, we got the helper bags all done, the airline's done. We should be plumbing it soon. Just the final stages of getting everything all done, and we'll start putting all the lights on once we get the bed on and the fenders, so we can start finishing up all that.
Sweet. But yeah, we're done with mock-up stage, so now we're
So this is final assembly.
We're in the assembly stage, yeah,
yep.
which is exciting. And here's the trailer hitch. Show the
yeah,
peoples that. They'll love that.
The new trailer hitch. But Jeremy did a lot of cool stuff on the inside.
We miss you, Jeremy.
So we got the 6 feet all done, like the housing for it.
And then you said that this is removable, right?
Yeah, so this will be removable, so we'll build gaskets for that, so you can pull it in and out as you need to.
That's awesome.
I'll drill holes back here where you won't see, and then we'll have a plug on each side for all your wiring. So if you ever had to pull the cap off, all you have to do is just unplug it, and that's it. So you won't have to like chase ground wires, stuff like that anymore. We're trying to get more into that concept of just unplugging stuff and then taking it off.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then we are 3D printing. Maybe we can get David. I'll go catch him on the inside. He's one of our 3D designers. But he's building a middle console. It's
like,
is that what it's called? I don't know.
Yeah. So from what I heard, he's also going to build like the vents for the AC right here. He'll
Like
3D print that.
Like a valance or? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So he'll get that all 3D printed, and then like a bezel for the radio. Like it'll be cool. He's got a lot of work.
Yeah, because this is gonna have a touchscreen, right?
Yep. To one and more modern.
Totally modern compared to 1949 Ford
yeah.
with a touchscreen in it. That's pretty cool. I love this build.
Well, you know, when you're trying to put all the wires, you know, the dash is only this big.
Right.
And it's only like 2 feet deep, so
right.
Any room you can get to kind of hide some of that stuff and make everything run, it'll look good.
Definitely. Is this our pedal mount? So it fits on 49s? I thought it was just 53 to 56.
Jeremy may have done that too. He did a lot. He did the seat brackets.
Dang, Jeremy.
I believe he actually lowered the floor on this one.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, he did a lot of work on this. So
Jeremy.
The inner fenders will have like the oil cooler lines, like so they'll come out through here, and through the inner fender and then out the inner fender to the actual oil cooler. So that'll be cool. So that'll like free up a bunch of room under the hood.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, once we get the fenders on and stuff, it'll look really nice. I made the bracket for the Gen 3.
Look at
You gotta see the back.
It's so
So the Gen 2 is a little bit different.
When I first
So this will be like the new Gen 2 Vaporworks. So they're pretty much the same thing, just a little bit different of dimensions.
Is this the original one?
I believe so, yeah.
I thought they're usually on the inside of the door jams or.
So not on the 480s. The 480s actually, you would have it on, if I remember correctly, is right here, and on the motor. They had both of them stamped on there so you could tell if it was the original motor for the vehicle that you had.
That's cool. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm tired.
Great. Tired? Hot?
It's all good.
What are you working on right now?
Right now, putting some channels up here with some weld nuts.
Okay.
That way, because there's actually going to be, I believe, a sub here and a speaker back here. Some in custom boxes built into like the rear fenders. So he's not going to be able to access nuts from the bottom side. So if he wants to put his hard top back on or the rails for the soft top, there'll actually be weld nuts in there. So pretty much ran a channel, plug welded everything. So that way 5/16 bolts on both sides. Just doing just little stuff. Built a couple brackets for the computer to mount underneath the dash, the Ford power pack, stuff like that. Just trying to get it ready. So as soon as the front drive shaft comes in, Jason could build the exhaust. It's gonna be pretty wicked. I'm sure everyone's seen the cutout in the rear bumper. It's got a stainless tank that actually bolts just under here between the frame rails under the
tank?
yeah.
So that's where the tank's gonna go?
Yeah, so the fuel tank
People have
mounts
asked about
underneath
that,
here.
yeah,
So it's gonna be pretty wicked. We don't have to section out too much, but definitely have to section out a portion of it. Probably put a little heat shield. But it's gonna be, I believe, 3-inch all the way back, 3 into 1, and then it's gonna come back, and then it's gonna have dual 3-inch tips coming out the exhaust. The biggest thing was just he wanted to protect it. You know, he's gonna go out wheel it. If it, you know, smashes on a rock, this and that, I mean, the bumper will take a blunt of the force. You're not gonna bend his exhaust or anything like that. So that was his big thing. Most people talked about, yeah, it's got leaf springs, this and that, but
yeah, I was gonna ask.
I mean, it's all about, I mean, it's what the customer wants too. You know, it's got radius arms up front, coils, pretty much like it's a basic 3-link more or less in the front because it has a pan hard bar. But the rear leaf springs flex. I mean, it's not ideal, but I mean, he still drives it on the road, this and that. It's not a trailer queen, so he still wants the stability. He's got a couple kids, so, you know, he just wants some comfort. You know, dual shocks all the way in each corner, so he's happy. He's pretty pumped about that. And then we actually built a back seat mount setup. Actually, a little bit my design, but Jamal actually built it. So we actually took a brand new seat, disassembled it, made it clear, so it's gonna actually fold down, pivot up, and actually the amp is gonna mount in here. So it's gonna be a 5-channel amp. All the wires are gonna come through the back, through a grommet right there. And then it's got plenty of ventilation through both sides, through the corrugated metal. And then it'll be obviously 1 inch off the bottom, so it's got good airflow all the way around, top, bottom, you know. But it'll be pretty slick. And then this will have a top on it. And then if he really wants to, if his kids aren't wheeling this and that, he can actually fold the seat up forward and have extra storage to put on top. So it'd be pretty cool.
That's badass.
But yeah, that came out really good.
Yeah, it looks really good. Good job, Jamal. So we're doing full interior too, huh?
Full interior, I believe, Mustang seats, and then I don't know if it's like a Tom's off-road back seat or anything like that. But now it's totally modified, so
yeah.
Just to get it to fit. Yeah. So those actually like cutouts right there. That's where his shock hoops kind of get mounted in there. So it had to be narrowed, feed a little bit, and then it also had to clear the compressor. So this is actually a compressor. It looks like a massive winch, but it's actually an air compressor. So you have, other than just the ARB compressor for his air lockers front and rear, he's gonna have this, monster onboard air, with a separate power tank underneath. So it'll be pretty slick. And the battery's actually, auxiliary battery's gonna get mounted back here. And then I believe he's gonna have 2 monster 13.5-inch subs down firing just in here with Yeti cooler mounted on top.
Oh.
So it's gonna be pretty slick.
This is David. He's
Hello.
one of our 3D, I don't know what words you
CAD
guys
guy.
like. CAD guy?
Yeah.
That's what everybody says, CAD guy, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't want to offend. Like, you're a professional, CAD professional.
We'll go with that.
Okay, so we're looking at our Big Rep studio.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's give a little bit of background because I've got no 3D CAD experience. So we've got this printer, and then we have this printer, and we have these printers. So tell us a little bit about the difference between each printer.
This printer is a bigger version of these two printers. Different brand, same style of printing. A little more precise, obviously a lot bigger. This is a resin printer, so it's very like high quality, very smooth printing. It uses a different style to print. It uses liquid resin and it uses UV light to cure it.
So this is, because usually, I mean, like you can see these ones start from the bottom, this one starts from the top.
Yeah,
right?
it starts at the top and it raises up. So this is a radio bezel.
Is this one for the 49?
It is.
Oh, that's perfect. We were just over there. So this is going to be the bezel for the dash, right?
Yep, dash radio bezel.
And it'll have our little touch screen for the GPS in there.
Yes.
Sweet. What
So-
are these knobs going to be for the AC?
I believe so. But it's very smooth, it's very easy to bodywork and paint and make it look nice.
So anytime for resin, or like we can bodywork all of these and we can
Yes.
paint them, we can do whatever we want to them. Is
Yes.
there anything, what is the word? Like, I don't want to say hindrances, but is there anything that we can't do with it? Like,
There's different materials for everything. Nowadays you can do anything pretty much.
well, maybe I can catch you inside and then I can see maybe some of what you're designing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We're going to come and get more regular updates with our 3D print stuff. I know that that's something we want to share with you guys more. Like our hideaway mounts, like we print those in-house. We print quite a bit of stuff in-house, and you can get them in our from our store on the website. So, yeah, we'll give more insight for y'all. Hello. Forgive the mess. We just got back from a couple shows, so we've kind of got a lot going on. But, okay, David, we caught you inside. So every time I see your desk, it looks like to me because CAD guy.
CAD guy.
Because
yeah.
CAD guy. CAD
It's
professional. CAD professional.
A little more of a mess. It's kind of clean right now.
Oh, it looks great.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us what you've got on the screen.
That is for, I believe, the 56. And
The
it's
GT100.
GT100 truck is the front air filter cover
Okay.
in the front of the truck. We kind of started with one design, and now we're ended up with this design.
And that one design, forgive me, that's this one, right?
Yeah,
Is it
that's
okay if
one-
I grab
yeah.
this?
So that's the first design that we did, and then we decided to change it, and this is kind of more towards the GT.
I'm definitely feeling this one more.
I like that one
Yeah.
more too.
So it has these vents, so it kind of hides the air filter. Because the truck is so low, you're gonna kind of be looking down on it. Grooves in the back, so it's gonna lock in, and we're obviously gonna bolt it on. But yeah,
I thought this was interesting, so I'll bring it up. But I thought that, so this one, it looks kind of, I don't want to offend, but it looks a little bit crazy. But that's because you upped the timing, right? So
Yeah,
you got
so
it printed a little faster.
yeah, I turned down the quality, so a little faster print.
Mhm.
Still as accurate, just not as nice.
So you can do that kind of for more like when you don't need it to be perfect and you're making
Yep.
a part, or the V1 or V2 or whatever, then you can kind of go a little faster.
Yeah. Speaking of you guys were talking about the hideaway mount. These are the hideaway mounts right here.
Oh, that's sweet.
So that's the Holly hideaway mount.
So this is for the big printer, right?
The big printer, yep.
So is that supposed to be the whole floor, and you can kind of fit stuff on there, and
Yep.
then
So
tell it what to do?
yeah, this is called nesting. So you throw your CAD program or pack parts in there. This is kind of a preview of what it will look like.
Okay, well, if you want a hideaway mount, then we will link those down below too. We've got so many links down below. This is a long episode. Okay, I think we're good. Oh, paint. Did you see the paint yet?
Because I gotta now go through, de-nim it, clean it all up, make sure everything's perfect. Then put 2 more coats down of color, and that'll fill it all in. And then after that, they can start clearing it. They'll get like 5 foot clear up for us.
But generically, this is the first time that we've actually sprayed it. So this is the first time,
Yeah,
aside
first
from a little tiny thing.
Yeah, so it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's go see. Just to be clear as day, as you already heard, this is the first coat, so there's still like 4 more to come, so this is not the final product. But we're feeling nice, so we're gonna show you a little bit about what this color is gonna look like. We haven't done a blue like this ever, right? Ever. I like it. It's spotty because it's the first coat, y'all. I don't even think it looks that bad. That's awesome. It's gonna look bomb after 5.
We'll denib it. You know, fixing it in imperfections, and then we'll bury it in clear.
Well, how about we come and check in once it's buried and clear, and then we'll see the difference. We'll add that to that. Okay. Okay. Are you gonna finish tomorrow?
Yeah.
You guys are gonna go crazy when you see the interior too. Like, it's a little bit different than what we usually, like the style that we kind of go for, so I'm really excited. No, we can't say what it is yet. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. We tried to make it a little bit longer, tried to get a little bit more insight for you. Let us know if you like that, try not to let us know too much of what you didn't like because, you know. But let us know what you did like about this, and you can let us know your questions, and we will try to get those answered for you. We are going to come back and do another check-in here soon, so you'll be able to see the progress that's been made. Like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. Thank you so much for all of you guys' support. If you want to do any shirts, or we just got some new merch, and also, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this yet, but we do have a bunch of I think we have 4 new shirt designs that are coming out, 3 or 4 shirt designs coming out. So we've got those coming for you. We are also going to be in Tennessee next month for the F100 Grand National. They're making fun of me. Show. So we will be at that next month. So see you there. Come back and check our next video. That'll be episode 22, and we will get an update. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
It doesn't smell very good.
It doesn't smell good. But...
No.
Are you printing right now, or what's going on in here?
It's running like a calibration program.
Oh, okay. Oh. Is that normal?
No.